everybody. Welcome on into the webinar room. Come on in and make yourselves at home. We are going to get started very soon, but first we're just going to, just wait for just a minute while everybody joins us that is going to be joining us today so we can all start in one group. And while we are waiting, please hop into that chat box over there on the right. Let us know your name and where you are logging in from so that we can say hello to you. We love doing that. And we also love seeing people from all around the United States, Canada, the world. We usually get all the way around the globe, that is for sure. And a couple of housekeeping things before we get started. If you are experiencing any audio or video issues, all you have to do is just clear out of any of those unused browser tabs because this browser likes to have all the bandwidth in order to stream. And then you can also refresh your browser and then rejoin using your link. And things should clear up unless you are just in a really bad space for a bandwidth right now. So that usually helps though, clearing out those unused browser tabs. Who do we got here? Leslie, hi, where's Leslie? Oh, from DC, excellent. And Helena from Florida, hi. And then Grant from San Diego. I have a feeling we know that, Grant.
I hope so. Hi, Grant.
I know, hi. And Lisa as well. Hello, I'm Lisa. Albuquerque and Deanna from Sacramento. Welcome to all of you guys. I'm so happy to have you here today. Is anybody experiencing beautiful weather like now? Like we are in the Pacific Northwest. All three of us are in the Pacific Northwest. Usually we have one person who's not in the area, and it's been sunny and partly cloudy and like 75 degrees. I think it's been lovely here today. I hope everybody has been experiencing some lovely midsummer weather. We have Gail from Florida as well, and Flo from South Carolina, and Suzanne from Mountain View. Hi, how are you doing today? It's so good to have you here. All right, I'm very, very happy to have you guys all here today. I think we can go ahead and get started. And so then we are going to move to the next slide. So welcome to our July Viome live topical content webinar. My name is Lisa Shomo. I am head of community here at Viome, and I'd like to do just a really quick plug at the top since I am head of community. And if you are not a member of our community, I'm just going to pop up that little window up there for you to come and join us over on our closed private community page on Facebook. You can join in the conversations, ask questions, share recipes, and mingle with other Viome users just like yourself, and have a great time. I have a great time. I love being in there. It's awesome. So if anytime you want to close that little window that's over your screen, you just click the little close button down underneath and it just closes it until the next one pops up. So there you go. There's my plug for the Viome community page. And so today we are talking about a topic that we have teased for quite a while now, and we are finally given this awesome tease that we've been told about for so long. And I have two individuals here with me today to talk about oral health and how your mouth is the window to the health of your entire body. Much like your gut, it's all interconnected, but we have something new to help you on your oral health routine, and that is Viome's new VRx My Biotics Toothpaste and Gel. Many people have been asking me about it for some time now. It's a very exciting new product release, available now, either bundled in a health solution with the test kit or on the Viome website or in your Viome app as well. Now, I'm going to talk about these two wonderful people here with me today. They are not only lovely individuals, they have some very critical knowledge on oral health and how to support it properly with the right habits and nutrition for you. So Hilary Keiser, as far as I'm looking at, she's all the way on my right over there, Viome Precision Nutrition Scientist for Supplements. Hi, Hilary.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, folks. Good to see you all again.
And then I also have our very special guest here today. This is our first time on the Viome stage here today. I'm so happy to have her here. Aimee Higdon, registered dental hygienist who has been in dentistry for over 10 years. She cleaned my teeth just last month and she did a wonderful job. Yay. And her focus with her focus evolving over time to support humans in achieving optimal health by making connections between the mouth and the rest of the body. Sounds like you're just made for Viome, Aimee. Welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure
All
to be
right.
here.
Yes. So now that's a perfect setup to launch right into our talk. And I believe Hilary is going to start us out.
Yes, I will. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, we have been teasing this for a while, haven't we? And our team has been working relentlessly to perfect this product for you guys. There has been many iterations and flavors and things, and it's finally here in my hands. I'm so excited. It's always fun to do these webinars, but this one I'm particularly excited about because we've all been working so hard. So before we get into the specifics on toothpaste, I wanted to just take a step back and just discuss why our oral health even matters, right? Because if it doesn't matter, why do it, of course? So let's start with just a little exercise, just for fun. Let's be honest with ourselves here. How many of you can relate? So you're at the dentist, you're in the dental chair, the dentist or the hygienist, maybe Aimee, comes in and they start asking you, oh, have you been brushing your teeth every day, twice a day for 2 minutes? Yeah, you say yes, right? And then they ask, have you been flossing every day? Yeah, of course, right? You say yes. Even though maybe you might be a little tired, skip it at night, or maybe you rush out in the morning, you forget. That happens, right? So if you can relate, no judgment here, of course. You are not the only one. In fact, over 25% of Americans admit to lying to their dentist about flossing. How silly, right? And further to that, most people are only brushing their teeth about 45 to 70 seconds a day. I think Aimee's going to tell us what the ideal amount is, but I'm willing to bet that's nowhere near where we should be. And so it might seem like a small fib just to lie to your dentist. How would they know, right? I think tell us otherwise. She probably knows if you're lying. So it might just seem like a small little white lie, but I think it's worth highlighting because it really shows that many of us are overlooking our oral health. And it's something so critical to our overall health. And I think that most people just don't even realize the connection. So I want to dive into it a little bit more. So what's the big deal about having a little bad breath or the occasional cavity if, our dentist can drill and fill it? It's still a big deal. Our mouths are not just this transient space for us to chew our food and then pass it to our stomach. There's actually a lot more going on there. Our mouths are the beginning of our digestive system, actually. When we are chewing food, it's starting the digestion process. It's chemically breaking down some of those bonds. And it's not just our physiology that's doing that. It's the physiology of nearly or more than 700 species that are in our mouth. These are bacteria, fungi, yeast. There's tons of them there in your mouth, and they are all contributing to digesting your food. And in addition to digesting your food, these microbes in your mouth, if they're in balance, they're doing a lot of great activities for us. They're helping us balance the pH in our mouth, right? And that's important because having the optimal pH supports remineralization. So it's protecting your teeth from getting cavities. These microbes in our mouth are also playing a part in our immune system. They can help get rid of pathogenic bacteria that we may encounter, like maybe from our food or from the air. We can encounter pathogenic microbes in many ways. And these microbes in our mouth, they can crowd out the pathogens. They can compete for the same nutrients and attachment sites. And they can also produce antimicrobial molecules that can kill off these pathogens. So this oral microbiome is super important to be in balance, but it may be out of balance. And how would you know, right? These little microbes are so tiny. And the truth is, a lot of dental issues we don't even feel. But if you do feel it, you might notice something like bleeding gums, bad breath, cavities, right? These things that our dentist tells us about. So it's happening, whether you feel it or not. So we can't exactly see these microbes with the naked eye, of course, but what if we could, right? We do have the technology, microscopes exist. So I wanted to give you a look at an oral biofilm under a microscope. This was always my favorite part about my science labs in school, is seeing what is actually going on here. So just right away, you notice the sheer number of bacteria here. This is probably, I'm guessing, about the size of a pinpoint, and how organized they are. It changed, but you could see they were kind of synchronized, beating together, and they form these communities to help get nutrients to wherever they need them and to push their waste products away. So very organized, a lot of different species here. There's rods, there's like little curly ones, there's round ones that kind of bunch together like grapes. And then actually on the slide here, I think it's probably to your right, there's an amoeba. So you kind of see this big blob moving around. Yeah, that is not a normal member of your oral microbiome. So this sample comes from a person with really advanced staged periodontitis, so very advanced gum disease. And those amoebas are a hallmark of really advanced stage gum disease. So, and I do want to give credit to where credit's due for that. That was from Dr. Ben Sutter. Thank you for that microscopy. Really enlightening just to see what's going on there, to see the unseen, right? So how can these little tiny microbes cause so much havoc on our bodies? How do they even get there, right? Turns out the oral microbiome, these members are not just quarantined to our mouths. They can access our body in many different ways. So the probably most common one is if you have any cuts in your mouth, especially if you bleed when you're flossing or you brush your teeth, that is direct access for those microbes to access your bloodstream. And then from there, they can hitch a ride almost anywhere in your body, right? Anywhere your blood goes. We can inhale them. We can, into our lungs, we can translocate, or they can translocate anywhere to adjacent tissues like our sinuses and our ears. If we swallow, which we're doing all day, right, they get right into our digestive tract. So our oral health is very interconnected with our gut health, which is part of the reason why Viome wanted to look at oral health. We realize it's all connected. So neglecting our oral health does have negative consequences. Oral pathogens have been linked to various gut diseases. They have found, researchers have found oral pathogens in biopsy samples from patients with inflammatory bowel disease. There's a few different microbes at play there. Colorectal cancer also. And then even in our own internal research, we've found that activities that the microbes in your mouth are doing will at times mirror what's going on in your gut. So we've found high activity of acid production in the mouth is correlated with or puts you at greater risk for acid reflux, so acid in the stomach. Lisa, we have a paper on that. Do you want to share that?
We
do.
If
you want to read more about it, check out our recent publication on that. This talks about how we've created our saliva-based scores and some of those interesting findings like I just mentioned. Another one, I could go on and on all day about all these connections to oral health and diseases, but I don't want to scare you. I want to just hit the highlights. Another one that is really interesting to me anyways, is the link between our oral health and our cognition. So back to that microscopy, you might have noticed there were kind of rod-shaped bacteria. Those most likely are P. gingivalis. They're the most common microbe in gum disease. That microbe is known to produce a metabolite called gingipains. Now, gingipains affect our immune system. They can increase inflammation, right? So not what we want. We don't want that, especially traveling around our body, but it's been found, the gingipains, in the brains of Alzheimer's patients, and it's thought to be contributing to the disease. Now, further to that, I found this kind of interesting. Another research study showed that these gingipains, they are gingipain inhibitors. So a class of drugs that you can take that kind of deactivate the gingipains. If you give those Alzheimer patients gingipain inhibitors, their neuroinflammation went down. So definitely a strong connection there to our cognitive health, and something we should really be aware of. So again, not trying to scare you, but just get you this knowledge so you can understand what is going on here and why it is so important to be brushing your teeth and flossing your teeth, and eating the right foods for your oral microbiome. So if you are one of those 25% or more people who have lied about your dental health, again, no judgments, but hopefully you are beginning to see there's more consequences than just a reprimand from your dentist.
Who loses? Your dentist doesn't lose. You
Right.
keep coming back to him or her.
Do you think you can tell, like, if they're lying?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And honestly, a lot of people don't even really lie anymore because they say there's no point in lying because you are going to know anyways. So they just come out with it, with the guilt right away, usually.
Right. And then perhaps your dental hygienist or your dentist can help you turn around your habits, which is actually exactly why we have Aimee here. She is an absolute expert in this field. And we wanted to have her talk to you about some of the science-backed techniques that can help you achieve your best oral health yet.
So optimizing your oral hygiene. Lisa, do you mind if I just go with it?
Go for it.
All right. So let's face it, we're all really busy living our lives. And I see this every day when I'm at work. My patients, they've got children, they've got a husband, a dog, a cat, a boss, it's just, they're so busy that the last thing they want to do is take care of their mouth, which I totally get. Some days I don't even want to do that. I floss 10 people's teeth at work, and then the last thing I want to do is go home and do my own teeth. So I understand that. And that's why I like to tailor my patients' home care needs to help it fit in with their routine. And I like to let them know, let's just work smarter and not harder with all of this, because it doesn't have to be harder than it needs to be. So we'll just start with tongue scraping. A lot of people don't scrape their tongue. Interesting to note, a lot of my Asian populations, they will be really, really diligent with their tongue scraping. The East Indian as well. A lot of the Americans will not. And so we really want to be able to remove a lot of the plaque off of the tongue, because from the tongue it goes to the teeth. And also it contributes to malodor, and it's just not very hygienic to keep it on there. I like to use the analogy, it's like a shag carpet. When you run the vacuum cleaner over it, you hear all the particles coming up inside the vacuum cleaner. That's what it's like. And when you start tongue scraping, you'll see what I mean. And most people, their reaction is, wow, I had no idea that there was all of that on there. So I've got a couple of quick ones to show. These are my favorite, the copper tongue scraper. Copper is naturally antimicrobial, so that one's a fun one. And then there's just simple plastic ones like this, just little squeegees. Just get it all off. Coconut oil pulling or sesame oil pulling is a great way to reduce the bacteria in the mouth. On top of, if you do have dry mouth, it's a great way to wet your whistle. There's not a whole lot of products out there to relieve dry mouth. And so this is one of the ones that I have kind of always come back to with recommending my patients who suffer from dry mouth. Obviously, go to your dentist regularly for your dental checkups and your cleanings, there are things that form under the gum line that you are unable to remove, such as the hard tartar. So just let your dental hygienist take care of that for you, and you get everything else. We love seeing you at least every 6 months. If you are struggling with disease, or something's happening in your systemic world where things are more inflamed, you'd probably be recommended to come back more often. So just go and get checked out and see what they recommend, and put your care in their hands. Brushing at least twice a day with a good toothbrush, soft bristles only. I really like the multi-level type of bristles that you see here, as opposed to just kind of like a one layer sort of situation. A lot of people have recession, and so you can't reach all the little nooks and crannies with something that has just one level on there. You try, but it's sometimes it's not enough. Let's see, hydration. I think we have a recipe for hydration, Lisa.
We do. I just popped it up. It's pretty cool.
Yes, that's a really good one. Hydration is super key. We need to keep ourselves nice and hydrated for optimum function. And it's super duper hot outside right now, so everyone needs to keep up with that. There is such thing as dehydrating yourself by drinking too much water without adequate electrolytes. And I see that a lot with my patients. They come in and their lips are all chapped. And that's one of the first signs to know that they need to be hydrating more efficiently. And oftentimes they say, oh, I just drink water all the time. I've got this huge jug that I carry around with me. And I can't believe I'm still dehydrated. So we have the electrolyte talk, and they get better, and their gums actually start recovering better as well. So yeah, what do you know? And then it's not on here, but the flossing, super duper important to floss. I really recommend a woven floss over a non-woven floss. And the way you can tell if your floss is woven is, I have a little sample here. You can take the floss and you can actually pull it apart a little bit, so it will fray.
Yeah.
And that fraying is going to go below the gum line and pull out all the biofilm. And the biofilm is very sticky, so you want something to be able to grab onto it and pull it out of there.
I use coconut floss. Is that a good one?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's very stringy. It's like
yes, that's what we want. For those with tight contacts, they have trouble getting the floss between the teeth. Some of them are coated in wax. So you can try that. But ideally, flossing every day is something that we need to do. There's no there's no way around it. You eat food, you have to floss it out from under the gums. There's also a water pick option for those that absolutely are opposed to flossing, which I do run into all the time. And if you have very limited time, there's kids all over the place, you could barely take a shower. There are portable water picks that you can take into the shower with you to make your life even easier. And finally, the tobacco cessation. Tobacco really should be cut out of anyone's lifestyle at this point in time. We know way too much about the detriments behind the use of chewing tobacco and smoking, and the decreased pH environment, the oral cancers that come with it, the decreased blood flow. Sometimes I get a smoker in my chair and their gums just don't bleed, but they have disease, but there's hardly any blood flow. So we have to kind of figure out how to manage that. And ideally, we just try to get everyone to cut back on everything. And the main issue these days with cavity formation is the sugary drinks. Everyone knows soda pop's not good for you, but the sneaky one these days is those carbonated waters. So carbonated waters, if it's made with carbonic acid, will destroy the enamel. just as fast as a sugary soda pop. So I really encourage everyone to be aware of that, first of all, because people are drinking 5, 6, 7 of those every day. And they just don't know. They just think it's water. And so I can see somebody with perfectly healthy teeth one day, 6 months later, there's holes in every tooth. And I ask them what changed, and they say they go to Costco and they get all those beverages there, and it's summertime, so everyone's having cocktails. And just be aware that it is very acidic, and enjoy it by all means, but limit the consumption and shorten the duration of enjoyment. Yes.
Does a straw help too?
I think it might a little bit, but honestly, it's going into the mouth and it's just going to be in there anyways. So you could try it with a straw and see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
So what emerging technologies are there to help people with their oral hygiene? Of course, at Viome, we're all about technology with our RNA technology and AI that we use to make recommendations. What is going on in the dental industry?
The dental industry, actually, the first point on there, laser dentistry, is one of my all-time favorites. I've really enjoyed taking the courses on laser dentistry and applying it into my practice. Basically, what I do, if somebody has periodontal disease, I will go around with my laser, and it's a diode laser. The wavelength for that is 655 to 980 nanometers. So it's very low, and it has a very healing effect to it. So when someone comes in and they have a lot of inflammation and a lot of bacteria in there, I will go through and just trace the gum line with my laser, and it sterilizes the pathogens. And then I'm free to clean under the gums without introducing more problems into their bloodstream. So that's pretty cool. Also, if someone has a cold sore that's in the very beginning stages, the tingle stages, if you go to your dentist and they have a laser, we can keep that from turning into a full-blown cold sore, and it would shorten the duration of the suffering. So that's my second favorite thing that has to do with the laser, because who wants to suffer for a week, 2 weeks with something like that? Totally unnecessary. So ask your dentist if they have a laser. Ask your hygienist. She's probably begging the dentist for a laser, and he just doesn't know if everyone wants to be using that. So check it out. Smart toothbrushes. There's several different brands out there on the market. There's battery powered, there's rechargeable ones. The cool thing about the smart toothbrushes is they beep at you. So a lot of people cheat, like Hilary was saying, and they don't brush for the full 2 minutes. That is recommended. And I have noticed this a lot, because instead of people lying about flossing, they'll lie about how long they're brushing their teeth. And I've got to admit, I sometimes cut corners too, because I have a very busy life as well. So I can relate. So the smart toothbrushes are great for children when you're just trying to train them, or if you've noticed as an adult you are not brushing for the full 2 minutes. Just kind of keeps you on track. So 30 seconds per quad, and then boom, you're done. Same with the electric flossers. Those are pretty neat. Those people that just cannot find a routine to floss and are very tech savvy, we have to make it fun. If it's not fun, people don't want to do it. It's just like the coconut floss that you were speaking about. Like, we need to spice things up a little bit, because it has to be done. And if it's boring, who wants to do that? So thankfully, there's many, many, many new technologies out there to help us achieve our dental hygiene goals. And ultimately, my favorite is the oral irrigators. So Waterpick is the main company out there that offers these. And I always recommend doing the flossing before to get the big chunks of food out, and then irrigate under the gums afterwards if you're really suffering with health. It doesn't have to be forever, but it's just something that we can have in our toolkit to get you back into a good place faster than you normally would. So I really recommend the oral irrigator for people.
I have heard the smart toothbrushes also sometimes have apps too that can like grade your brushing technique. It's if you're brushing too hard, and also the 2-minute timer is key. And I think it's one reason why I guess a good choice would be an electric toothbrush, because it keeps you on task to doing that 2 minutes.
Yes, and it's essential for that 2 minutes or more. I would love 3, but I'll take what I can get.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, Aimee started alluding to this, but she started alluding to the fact that our nutrition is also super important for our oral health. And of course, the foods that we eat are directly interacting with our oral microbiome, with our gums, our mouth, right? And so those foods can promote activity in our oral microbiome. They can promote healthy teeth and gums if everything is functioning as it should, but they can also produce harmful metabolites that can promote gum disease or bad breath. So when you test with Viome, of course, it's any of our test kits that have a saliva sample. So that's the full body intelligence or oral health intelligence. These 2 kits are going to give you personalized food recommendations to help improve your oral microbiome. So just like all of our kits, you're going to find out what foods you should eat a lot of, your superfoods and your enjoy foods. These are going to promote those good activities I mentioned. And then we'll tell you what foods you should minimize or avoid altogether. Those are going to promote some of this harmful activity that you don't want. So what do these food recommendations look like? I have a couple examples here. If you have high inflammation in your mouth, if the microbes in your mouth are producing a lot of inflammatory molecules, you might be recommended superfoods like guava and green tea. These are very antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, so they can help calm some of that inflammation and the effects of it. And conversely, some avoid foods like eggs and cabbage. So these might be recommended for you to avoid or minimize if you have high sulfide gas production. That means the microbes in your mouth are taking the sulfur in foods like eggs and cabbage, and they're producing sulfide gas, which is pretty smelly, just like, you can imagine rotten eggs, kind of like that. That you don't want. And then, prolonged bad breath can have also negative health consequences. So we want to nip that in the bud, and you can do that with your diet, right? You're eating every day. Why not optimize your diet to improve your oral health too? So of course, your recommendations, these are just examples. Your recommendations are going to be designed to balance whatever activities that you need. So it might help you inhibit the growth of bad bacteria and bring balance. Maybe you need to focus on your pH, your gums. Just depends on what you need. That's the beauty of it. You're not going to get the same one size fits all foods as the next person. Aimee and I and Lisa, we're all going to have different food recommendations because our oral microbiomes are different. Everyone is different, and you should have a diet plan tailored to exactly your needs. So that's one tool in the toolbox. We've got our oral hygiene techniques. We've got our diet. We can also use nutritional supplements as another tool in our toolbox if we really want to be working on our oral health, which we all should. So that is another benefit of your saliva-based Viome test. You're going to get nutritional recommendations to help improve your oral health. Some ingredients you might see, probiotics. So we're used to seeing those in gut health formulas, but probiotics can also be helpful for our oral microbiome. There's microbes there too, so why not? So probiotics are just going to help you introduce beneficial bacteria to the oral cavity. And then you can use prebiotics to kind of boost that activity. Prebiotics are like fibers, things that our body isn't going to digest, but the microbes do. And that is their fuel. Postbiotics are maybe new to you, kind of new in the industry. Postbiotics are when you take a probiotic and you heat kill it. So you're getting all the benefits of an active probiotic without having to take it active and live. Minerals, Aimee mentioned minerals, talking about electrolytes, right? So they're good for our hydration, but they also can support remineralization like calcium and magnesium. And then like zinc is another mineral that helps reduce bad breath. So you might see recommendations for those. Or amino acids. So amino acids are like the building blocks of our proteins. And one notable one is arginine. Arginine is really great for balancing the pH of the mouth. It's a more of a basic amino acid, so it helps raise the pH, make it less acidic, which can help us prevent dental caries or dental cavities. So there's a lot of ingredients out there. How do you know which ones are for you? Our RNA technology is going to measure the activity in your mouth and then run it through our AI and find the exact ingredients that are going to help improve your oral microbiome activity. So my team has done a whole lot of research on this. We have a bunch of doctors and brilliant scientists that have put a lot of time and effort into curating the deep research that we need to make this a reality. We have a knowledge base of peer-reviewed research that our AI references that we've hand curated, right? A lot of AI just kind of does it on its own, but we recognize that your health really matters and we don't want any risks of AI, kind of running and having their own agenda. So there is some human discernment. I promise it's not all machines. So we use that to curate our knowledge base. And then we also take great care in making sure we find the highest quality ingredients that you can get. And then one of the coolest part about Viome is that if you're retesting with us, which is recommended every 4 to 6 months is ideal, your recommendations are going to change with you. So your oral microbiome is going to change. Maybe you've been doing really well, right? And so you might not need that extra strength toothpaste anymore. So your recommendations are going to evolve with you as you retest to make sure you're evolving and adapting and staying on track to achieve your peak health. So let's get into a little more specifics on these products. Our line of oral care products is called VRx My Biotics, and we have our lozenges up first. We've done some more in-depth webinars on these. If you want to learn more, check out our YouTube page. But they are like a breath mint. Nice minty. Are you taking one right now?
Thanks for the reminder, Hilary.
So they're like a breath mint. You just saw Aimee, super easy, pop in your mouth any time of day, although at night I find is ideal because you don't want to eat or drink afterwards for at least 30 minutes. So at night you're just going to go to bed anyway, so that's a good time. But any time of day is ideal. And these little breath mints are packed with beneficial bacteria that are on a mission to improve your oral health. So probiotics help seed your oral microbiome with the good bacteria that you need. Some of my favorite probiotics in there, the Bliss probiotics are probably the most studied strains on oral health. So those are in there for everyone. We also have postbiotics I mentioned on the previous slide, those heat-killed probiotics that help feed your oral microbiome. And then prebiotics to enhance those effects of the probiotics and the good bacteria that are there in your mouth. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, where's my drum roll? The brand new, super revolutionary toothpaste and gel. The world has never seen a product quite like this. So this is another personalized product for you based on your oral health. It has a 2-part system because we recognize your mouth is different from when you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed at night. When you're sleeping, your mouth is hopefully closed. even worse if it's open, but as you're sleeping, the bacteria are replicating. Even more so if you have your mouth open, some of those more pathogenic microbes like to thrive in that type of environment. So you have the highest bacteria load of the day in the morning. So the idea is to really clean that and restore a nice fresh mouth in the morning. And then in the evening, you want to get ready for your sleep, right? Make sure you're protected for that time of bacteria flourishing in your mouth all evening. So the morning is a gel. That's that one on the left with the clear gel on it. And then the evening is a paste. They are packaged in a beautiful box. And inside the box, open it, are your toothpaste. So this is something you've probably never seen before. Toothpaste in what? A single serve packet. Yes, this is how we make it super convenient for you. You snap the pack, put the paste onto your toothbrush. Super convenient and easy. And then it's just beautiful to have on your countertop. You can even pull these little boxes out and it just looks nice. And then you have that visual cue when you see it on your countertop, before you go to bed. Oh yeah, I may be tired, but I better brush my teeth. Yeah. So let's dive into these a little bit more. What is in our gel? So the gel is a patented formula. It's been clinically studied and has shown 250 times better at removing plaque and reducing gum redness and puffiness than your leading toothpaste. So it's super effective and it doesn't stop as you brush. It keeps going even after. It shields your teeth from further plaque forming microbes attaching to your teeth and thereby staining your teeth. This is morning breath's worst enemy, let me tell you. Blast it out right away. Your teeth feel so clean. Aimee, we feel like a dental cleaning. Like it feels like you just clean your teeth at the dentist. So it feels great. You run your tongue along your teeth, super clean.
I agree.
All right, so your evening toothpaste, again, to nourish your microbiome and protect it for the evening, it is personalized for you with your oral biotics, your prebiotics and postbiotics, and other powerful ingredients that are going to help improve your oral health. Personalized for you, it just depends on what you need. And of course, all with the goal of optimizing your oral microbiome and supporting your full body health. I would say, star ingredient of the toothpaste is hydroxyapatite. This is kind of buzzing in the dental industry. You might have heard it. If not rhydroxyapatite, it's a mineral. It's the exact mineral that's in the outer layer of our teeth, our enamel. And it's effective at remineralizing teeth and protecting your enamel. So we use a blend of nano and micro hydroxyapatite. So the nano is going to get into those little tiny cracks and holes in your teeth. And the micro is going to go ahead and get in the bigger holes. And so we've made sure we're using a clinical dosage of this that's been shown in clinical trials to remineralize teeth. It reduces sensitivity and even provides a little bit of whitening. We recognize most people want to have white teeth. So we made that a priority here. But the truth is, most whitening toothpastes are pretty harsh on your teeth. So we've made sure that our toothpaste is only minimally abrasive and it doesn't use any chemical whiteners either. So you can whiten safely. And then also added benefit of neutralizing bad breath. So you've got your gel in the morning to get rid of any lingering bad breath, which probably won't be there, but this is also going to blast it out so you have super fresh breath in the morning. So what makes this toothpaste different than the other toothpaste that are on the market, aside from it being personalized? There's actually a lot of differences. We took a really hard look at the beginning of this and tried to identify what were some of the pain points with other toothpastes. and tried to make sure we did the opposite of that. So you'll notice on a lot of toothpaste, they say not to swallow. In fact, some of them even say to contact poison control if you do. Scary, right? Because like, how are you going to not swallow your
I
toothpaste?
know, just a little bit, yeah.
Right, it happens, I'm sure. And over time, if you're brushing your teeth twice a day, every day, maybe more, that can add up. So all of the ingredients in our toothpaste are safe to swallow. So you can go ahead and, if you want to, swallow your toothpaste. That's what the astronauts do in space. So you can do it too.
Yay!
Yeah.
We're almost astronauts.
Now you can go to space, right? That's all you were waiting for. Believe it or not, many toothpaste on the market actually have ingredients that are known to disrupt your microbiome and cause other health issues. Sodium lauryl sulfate, it's abbreviated there as SLS. That one is harsh on not just on your microbiome, but also on the skin in your mouth. I see Aimee like nodding, right? Have you seen that in practice? People who have
Yeah, they have a mild allergy to that, and it just sloughs their oral tissues really badly. So yeah, I see it all the time.
So that's a common one in toothpaste. SLS, it makes the toothpaste foamy. So be on the lookout for that. There are ingredients that can erode enamel. I mentioned the chemical whiteners. Those can erode enamel. So if you're using those every day, it can be damaging to your teeth. Many toothpaste also have artificial sweeteners, which I think most of us know by now, but maybe not, that artificial sweeteners can have detrimental effects on our health, our gut microbiome. The most common one that you'll see in toothpaste is saccharin. Sometimes there's others like aspartame as well. Moisture absorbing agents. So these are just necessary in toothpaste to give it kind of that pasty texture. Otherwise, it would just be like a powder. So many companies are using artificial moisture absorbing agents like propylene glycol. Might sound familiar if you have ever used antifreeze. So we use natural moisture absorbing agents like sunflower lecithin. And of course, I mentioned already the low abrasive whiteners that we have in our toothpaste. So super exciting. It's finally here after all this time. I've loved using this. It's beautiful on my countertop. I can't wait for you all to try it. If you're ready to try it and you've already tested with Viome, if you've taken a saliva test, full body intelligence or oral health intelligence, you already have the recommendations for the toothpaste in your app. So you can go ahead to the shop store and order it. If not, go ahead and try out your oral health or full body intelligence test, and then you can get your toothpaste with your subscription. So lots of knowledge here. We dropped a lot of knowledge bombs on you. What do you do with it? And how can we integrate all of this knowledge into our daily practice, right? Because like we all know we need to brush our teeth, but again, we're only doing it for 45 to 70 seconds. So how can we really integrate this in our routine? And I think I'm going to give this one to Aimee because I'm sure that you're working with clients all day, every day to do just this, right?
That's exactly right, Hilary. That's one of my favorite parts of being a dental hygienist is patient care and customizing an oral hygiene routine that fits their life. As I said before, people have so much to do every single day. The last thing they want to do is, unfortunately, care for themselves. So what I like to start with my conversation with my patients who are frustrated is I say, hey, look, be patient with yourself. It takes at least 18 days to form a habit. And I believe the research out there is anywhere from 18 to 365 days. So let's just be patient with ourselves. We'll get it if we just stick to it. So one thing that I've noticed with patients who have an issue with getting a good habit going is they put their toothbrush and their toothpaste and their floss away in a cabinet. So out of sight, out of mind. So I just let them know, let's just avoid putting it away, keep it out on the counter for at least 18 days and see how we can retrain our brain and create this habit. Also, my most common excuse is I just don't have time, or I wake up late. So I've heard it all, and I do take notes. So I would say if you consider yourself a procrastinator, you just have to know your little nuances. And if you do have a tendency to procrastinate or make excuses why it can't be done, as soon as those thoughts pop up in your head, grab your toothbrush, grab your floss, grab anything, and then just do it right then and there. You just have very little time to, it's either I'm going to do this now, or I'm never going to do this. So better to just do it now. Or if you're a fan of hitting the snooze button, like I am, like a few times, what I've learned to do for myself is to set the alarm 5 minutes earlier. And then you can still get some snoozes in there. It's not going to ruin your morning. But if you do have trouble sleeping, and this is a very common thing in dentistry, is to screen for airway disorders. So if you do have issues sleeping, first start with good sleep hygiene practices. Turn off the blue light on your phone, dim the lights, start winding down for bed about an hour before. Just give your body a chance to get sleepy. And if you feel like you are struggling with an airway disorder, or you just want to rule it out, talk to your medical doctor about giving you a sleep study so we can get you some better sleep, because oftentimes I can see a relationship between those that have eventually a diagnosed sleep disorder and their lack of health and home care, because they're just tired. They're sleep deprived. They got kids, they got animals. So the last thing they want to do is to brush their teeth before they go to bed. So let's get some good sleep out there. And don't forget to reward yourself. Any small victory is a huge victory when it comes to taking care of your health. Even a pat on the back, positive self-talk, praise. Our body's listening, and it can tell the difference between us telling it negative things and telling it positive things. So just be patient with yourself, understand that it's a habit that you need to form, and you'll eventually get there if you stick with it.
Absolutely.
I love that. Yeah, go ahead and buy that, I don't know, shoes you've been dreaming of if you brush your teeth for 2 weeks straight. I love that.
Exactly. Anything.
Yeah. All right, so what does this all mean for you? It really means that if you're taking care of your oral health, you're not just avoiding cavities and bad breath. That's great, but what's really the benefit here is that you're really being proactive towards your overall health, because it is all connected. So just by taking those few extra minutes a day to dedicate to your flossing, to your brushing, your tongue scraping, using your personalized lozenges and all of that, it can really make a difference. And you're not only just improving your oral health, but you're reducing your risk for these various diseases like your digestive health, your cognitive health. And even if you're improving those, you're going to live a longer life. And it's not just about living a long life, right? It's about living a healthy life. So just imagine living a life where you feel great, you have more energy, you can fully enjoy those precious moments with your loved ones. That's what it's all really about, right? It's not just having a pretty smile. That's nice. But that smile is really a reflection of your overall health. And by taking care of it, it's really one of the best investments that you can make for yourself. So I'm excited to be on this journey with you guys. I want to hear how you like this personalized toothpaste. So keep us updated, engage in our community, let us know, especially if you have any tips and tricks like Aimee's to help you integrate these practices, because most people aren't really taking care of their oral health. So let's all support each other and make these small changes in our daily routine. It can really lead to big improvements in your life. So thank you.
Absolutely. All right. So we do have a few questions that I do want to get through because these are some great questions. So I think it's Suzanne was asking about oil pulling with coconut oil, and I think Aimee, you said sesame oil.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So sesame oil. That's a new one. I have not heard that one before.
Sesame oil is actually the original kind of oil that the practice started with. But if you do prefer coconut oil, I would recommend unrefined and cold pressed only. And then definitely spit it in the garbage. Do not spit it down your sink because your husband or your plumber might be mad or happy.
Don't swallow it either.
Not good for pipes, not good for septic. Yeah.
Right. Think about you're leaching all the bacteria out of your mouth. You don't want to swallow that into your gut and create possible other issues.
Absolutely. There you go. I'm definitely going to try some coconut oil pulling. It sounds fantastic. So the next question is, Lisa asks, why does dry mouth happen? I only have recently noticed this annoying thing happening with me. Who wants to answer this one? Aimee, did you want to answer this one? Okay, good.
I could offer some advice. One of the main reasons I see dry mouth in clients is pharmaceuticals. If you're on specific medications, that can dry out the mouth and reduce saliva flow, and also hydration. Yep. So summertime, chapped lips, drinking too much water without balancing electrolytes can really dehydrate everything.
Yeah, I might add, you mentioned this earlier too, but just to answer this question completely, smoking, of course, sleeping with your mouth open.
Alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All that stuff. It's not fun. My mother, who's 80, has terrible dry mouth now and is like trying everything to combat it. I'm actually going to suggest the oil pulling to her and see if that might help her. So dry mouth is not fun for sure. So try all those things, Lisa. Hopefully that will help you. Now, here's one more question for you, Aimee. Do dental procedures like caps and fillings play a role in dental health? I think that's a great question.
I think it's a great question as well. It absolutely does. And I see this every day, especially with crowns or fillings that go below the gum line can act almost like a sliver to the gums, creating this chronic inflammation. And it also has a little ledge on it. So between where the tooth and the restoration meet, microscopic little ledge, but we're talking microscopic bacteria here. So they're just all sitting like Humpty Dumpty on the wall there, invading the space and creating an inflammatory response in a lot of clients and patients who are susceptible to that. So absolutely it can. And my advice is you have to floss. You have to floss and water pick those areas. Unfortunately, it's a thing. And then while you're in there, just floss and water pick everywhere else too.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. They can hide in every little crevice known to man, for sure. So you got to get rid of them. Thanks, Gail, for that question. All right, so now we have some questions specifically about the toothpaste and gel. And so Gianna asked, so the lozenges in the toothpaste would be formulated just for me? And yes, for sure. Hilary, do you want to fill that in just a little bit more?
Yes, so they absolutely are. We're going to take your Viome results, figure out what areas of your oral health you need to work on, and then our AI finds the right formula for you, and it's made just for you. So yes, lozenges and toothpaste are formulated for you and your unique oral health needs, which is so cool.
It's very, very, very cool. So Suzanne also says, I brush my teeth after every meal. How will the gel last for me? So that's a really good point to bring up, because these two formulas are specifically dosed as well, because they have supplements in them as well, right, Hilary? So it wouldn't last you for three toothbrushes during the day, but good for you, brushing after every meal. Hilary, how else do we want to talk about that? It's just morning and evening, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, these products are formulated specifically for morning and evening. If you had a little leftover, which is possible, you could save it for those midday brushes. Or, you know, if you have another favorite toothpaste, you can always layer that in. Just be mindful of that list of ingredients that I mentioned earlier. Actually, Lisa,
Speaking
do
of
we
that,
have the
yeah.
guide? Yeah, we have a very detailed guide to your oral health that mentions in here some of the things you should look for in your toothpaste. If you're not able to get the My Biotics Toothpaste and Gel, which, you know, this is only available right now in the US. So for our international friends, especially, take a look at that list and make sure you are not getting those harmful additives that are really ubiquitous across the industry in the toothpaste.
Yeah, absolutely. And no more rinsing your mouth after using the personalized. Elena was asking gel and toothpaste, but I think it's just for the evening toothpaste, right? You don't have to spit that out. But the gel, I think you do, yeah?
You should spit out the gel, right? You're using that in the morning. You're getting rid of all that buildup from the night. Go ahead and spit it out. The evening one you can swallow. There are supplements in it, but you don't have to swallow it. I would just suggest that you do not rinse. And the reason for that is especially for the hydroxyapatite, but all of the other ingredients too, we want them interacting and staying in your mouth with your microbiome so they can do their good work there.
Yeah, it's just like the lozenge. Just like you brush and floss, and you take that right before you go to sleep, and all that stuff can just sit there and just percolate in your mouth. It's a perfect way to do it. That's awesome. Okay, so that is all of our questions. Thank you so much for submitting those questions. They were super helpful. And I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we leave off for the day. Thank you so much for spending the last hour with us. The first is, if you would like to reach out to Aimee, our wonderful guest here, you may hear, I have a link here to a page where you can contact her and get in touch with her and use her as a registered dental hygienist, find out where she's working at, or any other things that she does as well, because she is a wonderful holistic person to talk to about this oral health and how it is connected to your whole body health. You can absolutely do that. And also one more thing here, I do have a discount code for everybody who is attending here today. If you would like to purchase any of our oral health products, this code, toothpaste, is good for 15% off for 6 months on any oral health intelligence products, not only our bundled products, but also our standalone products too, if you already have Viome test results and can order them within your app. You can do that as well. So it's toothpaste, and there you go. You can click on that link, and that code should be populated in the shopping cart. And I think that's all we have for today. That was a lot. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Hilary. Thank you, Aimee. And I hope to have you back here again one day when we bring up the next subject on oral health and maybe our next oral health product. I would love to have you join us again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, Hilary.
Thank you. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your day and have a healthy mouth. All right. Bye-bye.